I'm up here now. This is amazing. It's a new view. I know you all, so I'm not nervous at all. My name is Kyi. You all probably know that already. I was born and raised in Angwin, and I'm doing my testimony today. Yep, I just want to make it all centered on the Spirit, even though I am learning the Word slowly now, thanks to Samir and George. Oh, Jordan. Me and Jordan still do Bible studies, and he is just amazing for his age. I can't say more about him. But I just wanted to kind of make it just about how the Spirit has guided my life. Even before I knew the Word, the Spirit was guiding me. You know, that's God's way of hanging over your shoulders, saying, oh, let's try and scoot you this way, you know, let's try and get you going a certain direction or keep you out of trouble. You don't have to know anything, and the Spirit can start changing you towards the right direction. The Word is becoming more and more important to me, and I'm slowly learning it where, you know, hopefully I can hold it above the Spirit, but I'm really unsure about that. Maybe they're equal. I don't know, but I've been through so much in my life that I have to latch onto that, you know, through ups and downs and struggles. God is there through it all, giving you insight and stuff. But I guess in more recent days, I've been diagnosed with post-childhood traumatic stress syndrome, and I've started to work on that. I should have had help back when I was like 8 or 9 years old, but I guess it's going, and I am making progress on it. So God is hanging with me through it all, and just trying to get my life situated. You know, I don't really know how to react to it, and people just tell me to get over it, and that's not how you fix things in your life. Is just by getting over them. You have to go through them, and then you have to get guidance on them, and you really have to draw, in my opinion, you have to draw closer with the Spirit to God, you know, and in order to get past these things. I went to several AA meetings when I was using substances and stuff, and none of them were working for me, because they always said, you know, you have to go with your higher power, whether it be this or that or the other thing. And I just looked at them, you know, even when I had to do it to get custody of my daughter, and I looked at them and I'm like, okay, I'm going to sit through this, but to me, there's only one higher power. And I am not going with this thing they call in AA of pick and choose your higher power, because we all know that there's one higher power that does everything, and it's definitely not man. So I don't really know what else to say standing up here and looking at everybody. I have no clue, actually. I got lost about, I don't know, a minute and a half, 2 minutes ago, and I've just been rambling on since, you know. I wish I could have some opinions from the pulpit here, but it's kind of hard. So, should I say anything else? Well, this church is different than the other two churches that I've been to. The first church was extremely liberal, and the other church was extremely conformative. And I don't believe it should go either way. You know, there's a fellowship in which Jesus Christ, you know, which he led his life, and that was to, you know, live among the lowly, live among the people that aren't conformed, and live among the people that are conformed, you know, but the more the low down common people is who Jesus Christ, you know, was attracted to, you know. So I don't believe that it's to be too loose or too conformative. And here I find people who want to abide in the Word, but at the same time aren't judgmental, because that judgment leads a person to leave the church. And if it wasn't for a good friend of mine, I'd have walked out of the church before I came here, and I'd have never gone back in. So I would have to say, you know, being loving being about truth and kindness and a good heart is more important than being conformed in all senses and ways. Let God lead you. God never once, rejected a person based on how little they knew. It's like Jordan. I have to lift Jordan up again, because whenever I talk to Jordan, he's like, I want to teach you this for what it is. I'm not trying to, promote Adventism or myself or my stereotypical way of life or anything else, period. I want to teach you the Bible for what it is so that you have that with yourself. A lot of people kind of hold themselves higher than the next person with the word and all of that, but as Samir stated, we're at the same level no matter whether I know a lot or a little. We're right here. We're broken until we're saved. So I wanted to say that. Do I have more time, Liz? That's the Spirit. The Spirit was telling me that those things were wrong. The Spirit told me, don't do these things, you're going to have a criminal record. The Spirit told me, hey, in your heart, these things are not good. And eventually that took hold of me when I started going to church with Violet Mund at Elmshaven, that had been going there since the 1930s. And when I went there, that took hold of me in my heart because I was actually in his temple, and I guess it was just morals, morally correct versus morally incorrect. You love or you hate. There's only two options there. You can't do both. And plus, I've also noticed that when you're high on weed or anything else for that matter, you're not who you should be. You know what I mean? I am so happy now that I'm clean, straight, and narrow. I have a clean head about everything. I would never trust anybody in their word if they're getting high, to tell you the truth, or drunk for that matter. I know that I probably shouldn't go there, but to me, that stuff changes you and who you would be if you weren't to touch it. So I would have to say that just morally and a sound mind that never changes, because they say in the Bible that if you're double-minded, you are worthless. So, I don't want to change this mind I have, you know what I mean? I don't want to change it for the life of me. I would rather just be a solid person all the time. What drew me? I'm not necessarily drawn to the Adventist church as much as I am to God. To tell you the truth, I have so much to thank for the Adventist church. I have so much to thank for all of it entirely, but right now, God is drawing me to Him. I'm not necessarily drawn to the Adventist church itself, because that, again, is another man-made faith, It's of man. I feel that I would claim to be an Adventist because they do have the most together out of anyone else, but I just like to be claiming to be a child of God, I hold above everything else that is of man and of this world. So, but I am very drawn to it. And I tell you the truth, after I'm done raising my daughter, I want to go into the mission field. I want to do these things and spend a year here or a year there or do those type of things. But I got to wait my turn, I guess. There's lots to offer from the Adventist church. I go to camp meeting every year. I'm going to Albion. I'm doing all these things that the church has made for me to be able to feel like I have a place with God and to spend that with God. So I guess the fellowship is what draws me to the Adventist church. So any other questions? I like the question thing. I'm like going, Is that enough time? Am I done or? Two more minutes. Anybody got any questions? I'm like a cricket chirping up here, For my future, I don't really know what my plans are. I'm battling with the post-childhood traumatic stress syndrome, which is really hard. I've gained a lot of ground, but God has given me everything else that I really want in this life. I am poorer than everybody in here, I can imagine, because I only got like $100 in my bank account, and I'm struggling to work on things and pay off bills and all that kind of stuff. And all I have left is a wife, and I want to find one not based on my money or my worldly possessions, but based in love. So I guess my wife is about the only thing I see myself wanting in the future, besides getting past this PTSD and doing the normal chores and raising my daughter. So maybe I could see myself in the next few years going into the mission field and doing mission trips, because I was watching Ted N.C. Wilson on the video, and he was like, let's go, or with that phrase that he says, I will go, and I want to go, I really do. I want to go out there and feed starving children or do this or that, and I really want to do it. But I have my daughter to raise. I can't leave her high and dry, I can't do all of that right now, but I really do. And I don't know what God has planned for me, but he's given me everything so far. So, I just have to wait and not jump the gun on anything. And plus, I'm running everything through Pastor Hilton and Jenny. They've called me their kids, so they've kind of half adopted me. So I have to ask them before I do make any major decisions, because I don't really trust myself in that. So just pray for me that I find companionship. You got a question? I'll answer it. Well, I am part Native American. As you see, I wear this every day. It was my mom's necklace. And, we like the name Cheyenne, but we kind of wanted to make it our own. And my ex is German, and I'm Norwegian predominantly. So Annie, the name Annie, is a German-Norwegian name. And we added the Shy on there and made Cheyenne, which is Shyanne. So it's named after the tribe, but spelt differently to add some things to it. So yeah, and then the church itself as a whole, not singling out any church in particularly, has helped me so much that it's ridiculous, but more or less certain individuals have helped me more than anything, because I was homeless under a tree, and Barbara and Fred Hazard, even though they don't know how to help my PTSD for the life of them, they are just sheer angels, because they pulled me out from under the tree and let me live at their house and helped me get custody of my daughter, helped me get a license. I really wouldn't have a life today. I'd be under a tree homeless with a bag of clothes if it wasn't for them. So more or less just kind-hearted individuals that helped me grow. I've run into a lot of negative people in the church, but thank God the positive people outweigh them, because I can't listen to negativity anymore just because of my trauma. I'm so prone to just, saying, okay, I got a lot of issues going on. Yeah, and my therapist has been helping me put my foot down, and say, I got to get rid of that, and I got to intake this into my life. And me and George are in the middle of doing the 28 fundamental study right now, and we're getting me ready for being rebaptized the middle of next month, and I'm going to be ordained publicly a deacon. They already prayed over me in private, but I'm going to be publicly ordained and rebaptized coming up soon here. And then the next 5-10 years, I'm going to be working towards being an elder. So, I'll give it a lot of time, but I need to learn a lot and everything. I don't know if that was off subject or anything, but I'm glad for the direction that I'm going. And if it wasn't for the Spirit, I wouldn't have the mindset that I do. So I wanted to thank God for that, That's it. God bless.